Hey fam, how's it going? Speed Duel Bro here, and in today's video we have Under Pressure. Let's go. For the skill card we have Under Pressure. For monster lineup we've got 3 Hyozanryu. Try saying that 3 times real fast. And then we've got 3 Carboneddon, 3 Oxygeddon, and 2 Hydrogeddon. And then for spells we have 3 Book of Moon, 3 Tribute to the Doomed, and then for traps we have 3 Widespread Ruin, and 1 Jar of Avarice. How to win / strategies. Now before we go over the game plan fam, let's review a couple cards first, starting with the skill card, Under Pressure. And if you notice, there's text on the back. At the start of the duel, flip this card over. Okay, let's flip it over. It reads, activate this skill while you control Hyozanryu. Once per turn, you can reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, and then if any of the following monsters are revealed, apply the appropriate skills in sequence. Then place the revealed cards on the bottom of your deck in any order. Carboneddon. 1 Hyozanryu you control gains 1000 attack until the end of this turn. Hydrogeddon. 1 Hyozanryu you control is unaffected by your opponent's monster effects until the end of this turn. Oxygeddon. Destroy 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, then inflict 800 damage to your opponent. Now fam, if we can actually pull off all of the effects on this skill card, this skill is actually very good. Now let's review Carboneddon. It reads, if this card battles a fire monster during damage calculation, this card gains 1000 attack during damage calculation only. You can banish this card from your graveyard. Special summon from your hand or deck 1 level 7 or lower dragon normal monster in face-up defense position. You can only use this effect of Carboneddon once per turn. So as you can see fam, Carboneddon is going to be the key engine to this deck. It's what's going to get us going. And now that we've reviewed the cards that I've wanted for us to review, let's move on to the how to win / strategies. Alright fam, so to pilot this deck, it's actually very easy, and quite frankly, I'm all for it because you don't have to think too much, and this is probably going to be one of the funnest and easiest decks that you'll ever play with. And on that note, when a deck is this easy to play with fam, this is a great deck to introduce new players to the game of speed duels. So continuing on, the main goal of this deck fam is to get Carboneddon in the graveyard as soon as possible. And luckily for us, we have Tribute to the Doom, so we're going to activate it, discard Carboneddon as the cost for it, and now we can destroy one of the opponent's monsters. And now we can banish Carboneddon from the graveyard so that we can special summon 1 Hyozanryu from the deck. Now for the newer players, always, if you can, have the option, always get cards from the deck. And the reason for that is because, especially in this deck's case, we don't want to draw into Hyozanryu. So we're always going to go for getting the Hyozanryu from the deck instead of summoning the one from our hand. Now I know my OGs and veterans know this, but for the newer Speed Duel fam, this is just good stuff to know. And now that we have Hyozanryu out on the field, we can activate the skill card Under Pressure. So we're going to reveal the top 4 cards of our deck. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my goodness, would you look at that? We got all 3 monsters that are on the skill card. So now we're going to apply the appropriate effects as they were revealed in sequence. So Oxygeddon was revealed first. We get to destroy an opponent's monster and inflict 800 points of damage to them. And then as for Hydrogeddon, our Hyozanryu is now unaffected by the opponent's monster effects. And then for Carboneddon, Hyozanryu's attack will increase by 1000. Now I know that Hyozanryu is in defense mode right now because that's the way it was special summoned through Carboneddon. But the point being here fam is that if we can successfully pull off Under Pressure's skill effects, oh man, they can all be game breaking. Because imagine that, if we can get Hydrogeddon and Carboneddon through Under Pressure, we don't have to fear DD Warrior Lady with Hyozanryu. You know, a 3100 attack Hyozanryu, that's pretty good. And we don't have to worry about DD Warrior Lady, Exploder Dragon, Man-Eater Bug, or anything of the sort. You know, it's very good. And of course, we all know how good it is if we can reveal Oxygeddon, an instant pop. You know, instant destruction effect. That's always great. And don't forget fam, once we're done revealing these cards, you can put them in any order in the bottom of your deck, okay? But yeah fam, this is how you pilot the deck. Like I said, it's so easy, it's so simple, but I really like the aspect that all we have to do is just have a Hyozanryu on the field, and we could potentially be heavily rewarded through our skill card. It don't get no easier than that fam. Card analysis, the skill card Under Pressure. Such an excellent skill card for the deck of Hyozanryu, and it's basically Serpent Knight Dragon 2.0. But yeah, just an easy skill to use. Just get Hyozanryu onto the field and we can start building momentum from there. And then we play the 3 Hyozanryu, the main boss monster of the deck. Now it's debatable fam whether you want to play 2 or 3, but I figured that since we play the 3 Carboneddon, why not play 3 Hyozanryu so that we can summon our Diamond Dragon 3 times potentially. And then we play the 3 Carboneddon, which is very obvious. It's the key to this whole deck. It's what we need to get going. And don't forget about its other effect fam, wherein when it battles a Pyro monster, its attack increases. But most of the time that effect is going to be irrelevant. But again, it's just good stuff to know. And then we play the 3 Oxygeddon. The reason why we're playing 3 is because this is the strongest level 4 beater that we have at 1800 attack, and it's the best monster to be revealed when revealed with Under Pressure. And try not to forget fam that when Oxygeddon is battling a Pyro monster and is destroyed by a Pyro monster, both players take 800 points of damage. Now again, that effect is going to be irrelevant most of the time, but just keep it in mind. And then we play the 2 Hydrogeddon. The reason why I'm only playing 2 fam is because the deck space is tight enough as it is, but not only that, Hydrogeddon is not really the best standalone monster. So that's why I felt that 2 was just right. And then we play 3 Tribute to the Doom. The reason why we're playing 3 Tribute to the Doom fam is so that if we have Carboneddon in hand, not only do we get the Carboneddon in the graveyard where we want it to be, but we can also destroy an opponent's monster. And I just want to emphasize fam that it is so important that we get Carboneddon in the graveyard as soon as possible, because the sooner we do that, the sooner we can hide behind our Diamond Dragon and start taking control of the duel from there. So Tribute to the Doom just helps with that. And then we play the 3 Book of Moon. As you all know, like I always say, Book of Moon is universal utility at its finest. We can shut down the opponent's monster, or we can dodge the opponent's back row. And then we play the 3 Widespread Ruin. Now this fam is a total personal tech choice. Like for me, I was deciding between Widespread Ruin or Nightmare Wheel. Now the logic with Nightmare Wheel was, in theory, if we Nightmare Wheeled our opponent's monster, and then come our turn, we have Hyozanryu and we can use Under Pressure, then the theory was we can reveal potentially Oxygeddon and then pop the opponent's monster, thus making them take more life point damage. But I just figured fam that we would be better off with Widespread Ruin, simply because we would just have better field presence, board control. And plus, let's keep it honest, our monster lineup here, they're not really game breaking, so Widespread Ruin will just eliminate whatever the opponent may have. So that's why I ultimately went with Widespread Ruin. But again fam, it's a personal tech choice. Go with whatever you feel is more suitable to your taste. And then the last card in the deck, Jar of Avarice. Now this too was also a personal tech choice, but I kind of was appealed to the idea that, you know, if the duel dragged on long enough, of course we might worry of decking out. But aside from decking out, the fact that we can potentially recycle our Carboneddon, Oxygeddon, and Hydrogeddon and reuse them for Under Pressure, that's what appealed to me fam. And by the way, the reason why we're keeping the deck count low this time around, 21 cards, is because the lower the card count, the more consistently we'll be able to pull off Under Pressure successfully. Hopefully. Now, it's time for the moment of truth fam. Where does this deck rank on the power scale? In my humble opinion, this deck is casual. Now the reason why I say it's casual fam is because we're going to run into consistency issues, specifically with Carboneddon and Hyozanryu. So the issue with Hyozanryu, now all my OGs and veterans know this, but the issue with Hyozanryu is that anytime that we have to run a normal tribute monster in a deck, It's not going to be the most optimal thing because we could draw into a bricky hand. But thankfully, we have Carboneddon to kind of nullify that issue, because Carboneddon will let us special summon from the hand or deck. Now, my concern with Carboneddon is that if we don't open up with Carboneddon first turn or opening hand, we might be in for a rough time. Now, in theory, the deck's been built in a way that we should be able to keep the opponent at bay and hold it down until we get to Carboneddon, but still, the key card really here is Carboneddon. If we don't get Carboneddon, we'll be the ones under pressure. But fam, don't let those consistency issues stop you from playing this deck, because the rewards outweigh the risk. Because the moment Hyozanryu hits the field, we really can take control of the game through the skill card Under Pressure. You know, Hyozanryu becomes this invincible 3001 beater that doesn't get affected by monster effects, and we can destroy an opponent's monster. Oh man, that's just way too good. And the fact that this deck is so easy to pilot, oh my goodness, it makes me want to say diamonds are forever. So there you go fam, that's the deck. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please feel free to hit the like button because it helps me out a lot. And if you haven't already subscribed to me, your Speed Duel bro, you're more than welcome to subscribe, because two things. One, I always play to win and I'll teach you how to win. And two, if you love Speed Duels, I'm sure you'll love me too, your Speed Duel bro. Alright fam, that's it for now. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace